Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
And Hardcore Dave.
And this is the Premature pre-show of Season 32, Final Reckoning.
So do we know when this is going to first premiere, this new season?
Oh, fuck. No, I don't.
Oh, come on. Lead question, and you dropped the ball. After the current season of Champs vs. Stars, I'm assuming, because that's what they've been doing lately. They just do back to back. They're not even waiting. Just keeping that momentum rolling.
Yeah, and we have 6 more episodes, so that means in probably 6 weeks, Final Reckoning will be premiering then.
Hopefully.
So let's address the title, Final Reckoning. What does it mean, Dave? What kind of structure, what kind of voting system, what kind of partner or non-partnership, what do we get out of this title?
Is it like the sequel to Vendettas? Like, these are people who hate each other, but this is like the final standoff. So like, if you get eliminated, you never get to come back to the show.
Holy
shit. You're gone forever.
Oh my god.
I don't know. I have no idea. It just sounds like the name of like an Avengers movie or something.
Yes. Avengers Final Reckoning. Infinity War could have been called Final Reckoning. Yeah, Jesus Christ. You said a sequel to Vendettas, which in itself, Vendettas was the sequel to Dirty 30. They really marketed it like that on the trailer for Vendettas. They were like, remember previously on Dirty 30. They never do that, but they were really going out of their way to say this is like a trilogy. So this is part 3, Final Reckoning. What could it possibly mean? This isn't the final challenge ever, right? We're not gonna just like the seasons go away.
Maybe TJ is gonna retire after this year. Maybe that's what they called it. And then it'll be like a strange revealer at the end.
Producers love TJ that much they're willing to call a whole season about it.
Yeah, that wouldn't make sense. And TJ's not going anywhere.
There's a rumor that this is a partner season. And not only that, but it's going to be mixed genders. Because there are 30 there's a 30-person cast. Yet there's way more females than males. Way more females than males. So I didn't really do too much research about this, but there was an article that said like, oh, it could be a partnership thing. Johnny is going to be with... wait a minute, that doesn't work. They said Johnny was going to be with Tony, yet Tony is a replacement, spoilers, this season. I don't know how it could be partners.
That's a spoiler? God damn it, Vince.
Yeah.
So why'd you spoil all this shit?
I don't know. I don't know what it could mean. It could mean this is the last time that producers are forcing people to betray each other. Because that's what Dirty 30 was all about. You had to do someone dirty. In Vendettas, you had to put in someone and then use a grenade on someone, It's all very contrived.
Maybe it's something where like you're partners and say like Tony and Bananas, let's say they're partners. They're like Vendettas, they're rivals. So it's like your partner, just like the season of Rivals. But you're not going to both win at the end. We know that at the end, if you make it that far, that just means you're going to compete against each other. And one of you from each team, will make it and then go to the final.
Basically Rivals 3.
Kind of. No, not really.
No?
Because one of the partners is going home before the actual final. They're not going to wait until the final. Maybe they'll do it, right beforehand. Where every person, if you made it that far, then you're going to go into like this final 2-episode bloodbath where it's just, eliminations where it's partner versus partner. And then the victorious person from that team will go solo into the final or something,
Yeah, I mean, that sounds cool. The only thing is, like, Bananas and Tony aren't a partnership. Tony's a replacement, so Bananas would have to be with someone else. Could it be Cara Maria finally? But they're fucking friends, so that doesn't ring true. Marie's on the season, so wouldn't Cara and Marie be together? Or who else did Cara not get along with? Cara and Cam? You know what I mean?
Cara Maria doesn't get along with anybody on the show, does she?
Yeah, not anymore.
Other than Bananas.
Who is actually like one of her worst villains.
Yeah.
Who's done the worst to her.
It's weird because they used to be like the biggest rivals, and then somehow Cara Maria doesn't get along with anybody now, and then other than CT, I suppose.
Yeah. Another vet.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, they're Boston Strong together. Cara Maria, she gets, when she shows up on the weekends to visit CT, she's dropping her eyes.
Anytime she gets angry, she starts dropping her eyes.
No, that was that one season. Only one season she did that. That was Bloodlines. Remember that?
I totally defended Cara Maria that season. I'm like, that's just the way she talks. She has an accent. And then every season since then, we've never heard like any type of accent. I just assumed she had an accent. I was like, nope. It was the one fucking time in front of Anissa, and Anissa called her out on it. Anissa was right, as much as I hate to say it. But yeah, the format for the season is definitely a little unknown. It could go anywhere.
Yeah.
I like that. You know, maybe it'll be some type of partners within teams. Maybe, I don't know. I just hope it's kind of steady. I hope it doesn't switch throughout the season.
If it's a part 3 of a trilogy, Dirty 30 and Vendettas was all about changing up the teams all the time. You know what I mean? Like you were always playing free agent style, and there's going to be forced backstabbings basically, because that's what Dirty 30 and Vendettas was all about. Plus, we're probably going to see this new season split in half, where it's like one episode we see a mission, the second episode we see the elimination. So it's going to be those prolonged things.
Longer style episodes.
Yeah. And the final, we're not going to see the final on the final. We're going to have to stay tuned to the reunion. By the way,
Part 2 of the reunion.
I still haven't seen Vendetta's reunion or 2 either.
No, I've never watched either reunions. Right after I watched the actual final, and then it was Cara Maria versus Zach in a puzzle, I immediately just went online and looked up the spoilers to find out who won. I was like, oh, Cara Maria won. Okay, good. I'm like, I'm not watching a reunion show. It's too painful. Like, it's an hour-long thing, and there's like 12 good minutes of footage. But that other 50 minutes is just brutal. Like, I can't watch a lot of it.
I just straight up refused. I still might, for the sake of the podcast, but
it really kills the momentum of me really enjoying a final anymore, because we don't even get to see who wins. It's just like, oh, this is awesome, and then at the end, we don't know what happens.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we don't even know who won.
So
can't we just do it like the old days where they had a finish line, first person to cross it wins? Like, come on.
When was the last time they've done that? Can you recall?
X's 2?
Nexus 2?
Was that it?
Yeah, maybe. Could have been Nexus 2.
I feel like that. Because I just remember them riding on bikes in like Norway or some shit.
Yeah, that's right. So now what we're dealing with is... Oh, by the way, do you want to know where this takes place? Do you think it matters ever?
Yes, it totally does. I bet it takes place in either Europe, South America, or the South Pacific.
Wait. I don't know geography very well. But I will say this. They haven't gone... I don't think they've gone to South America in a while. When was the last time they went?
Didn't they go to Argentina not too long ago?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, never mind. But it's in South Africa.
South Africa? Whoa, that is actually different.
I don't know how to pronounce it. It's what's that word? Himanis, South Africa. Pronounce it.
Hamanus.
Humanus. Shit. Humanus. Wakanda.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, South Africa. They haven't been to Africa in a while. Jesus Christ. I don't think since Inferno 3, I want to say.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's been a while.
Yeah, that's kind of out of the way. Usually they stick closer to Europe or somewhere around Brazil or Mexico.
Yeah.
And then every once in a while, they'll go over to Thailand.
They don't usually like to go to those shithole countries, That's Trump. That's why Trump would pray. Yeah, thank you. Okay. He has to make an appearance every podcast lately. I don't know why. It's bad.
He's on your mind. It's understandable. But keep in mind that South Africa is a white country that speaks English. Like, South Africa is not the southern part of Africa. Like, it is, but South Africa is like the name of a country. and it's just like all white people and Australian people. It's like Charlize Theron.
Yeah, I was gonna say
She's
Charlize Theron. She's South
African.
African.
And
Yeah.
I was like, no, she's just a blonde white chick. And I was like, yeah. And
She's
then
an
they have
atomic blonde.
yeah. Then they they have a bunch of mining operations where they get parts for lithium batteries and diamonds and they have
Blood diamonds,
Yeah,
like that
there's a bunch of
Leonardo DiCaprio.
slave labor and shit. It's
Juman Hansu. Okay, so this is a premature pre-show, meaning we really don't know too much, but we have a pretty good source of the cast, and we'll just talk about that.
yeah.
We're going to talk about that randomly, actually. I didn't know who to talk about first, so I just got some cards here and wrote 4 players each. And I'll just randomly draw this and we'll talk about them, all right?
Sounds good.
All right, let's start off with this card here. Oh my God, Devin, Kyle, Nelson, and Joss. Let's start with Devin. Devin.
He had a great season last year. It was like his breakout year.
Oh, yeah.
He was manipulative, politically awesome. He's always funny and witty. He's got to work on his cardio, obviously. But other than that, like I love Devin. Devin's one of my favorites because it used to be Wes who was like that political mastermind, and it seems like now that's kind of turning into Devin, and also as a rival towards Bananas.
Yeah, I mean, Devin took out Bananas in elimination, much like his... I mean, and there's no secret that Devin actually does look up to Wes. If you're watching Champs vs. Stars 2, they're buddy-buddy. They're actually scheming together and stuff. It's fantastic, And Wes is like, I'm staying here doing these miniseries. You go and be me on those big, long-ass, boring shows, that don't feature the finale. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you do that. And that's what Devin's been doing. And he's back. That's great. I think if he improves his endurance or whatever, just starts running a little bit more and continue to work out because he was doing really good last season. Next is Kyle. Kyle, who was from Geordie Shore or Geordie Shore. How's it pronounced? Is it Geordie Shore?
I think I knew how to say it, but then you said it both ways, so now I'm gonna second guess and not know how to say it. So yeah, it's one of the two.
But he's back. He did really well. He played the political game where he's like everybody's buddy. He also won when he had to get into those power talks. He also convinced everybody that he
was
really
a layup.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Everybody was, oh, I'm not that good. But he was really good.
What did they say? Oh, he's just always drunk and shit. He's always pissed, as they say in Europe. When you're drunk, you're pissed. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm a little pissed right now.
Did you know that a cigarette is a fag over there? What I'm getting at with Kyle, though, is that basically I compared him to Jack Sparrow a little bit. He's got the bandana.
Bad tattoos.
Yeah, sure. Bad tattoos. He fucking gets with Pirate Lady Cara Maria.
Looks like he hasn't eaten in 3 weeks.
And the fact that he everyone kept on saying at the end, like, oh, this is all a charade. Like, he's actually really good and physically fit. He just pretends that he can't do it just so that he kind of gets that layup position in a sense. And that's exactly what Jack Sparrow does. He, maybe he is truly drunk and shit, but it's an act of like, oh, you couldn't believe that Jack Sparrow is actually this clever and intelligent to orchestrate all this stuff to steal a ship and blah, blah, blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So he kind of just plays the role of a buffoon.
Yeah. Like the drunken master, kung fu master or whatever. So I'm glad Kyle's back. He got to the final. Not only that, but he got to that last 2-man thing with Zach.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that's extremely impressive. I think he ended up taking like 3rd place overall. Did you look that up?
I did not.
Yeah, so he ended up making money last season. So he's back, and that's great. Next, we have Nelson. Nelson is like a favorite of mine. I'm still rooting for him to win. I believe he can eventually, He should have beat CT in that final. I don't know how CT got the win over that, on Dirty 30.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or no, Invasion of the Champs, sorry.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
But Nelson, he fucking put on that amazing performance against Darrell. Remember that shit? Where, like, they fought to a goddamn draw? Like, that is amazing. Oh, God, he's got a shit all over it. Here we go.
Well, the issue was that it was a draw, and then they brought him back into the house because he didn't beat him. But
he also wasn't beaten either. Come on.
But what about Joss? And
he did get beat.
Joss fought Derek, and they fought for 3 hours straight.
Yeah.
Nelson didn't have to go for 3 hours straight. They cut it off in an hour.
Yeah, because it's boring to see people lie there. I understand.
Joss, it should have been a 1 hour time limit, and then Joss comes back to the house.
We're not talking about Joss yet. Joss is next, okay?
Right,
Let's talk about Nelson. Nelson,
the fact that he was able to hold onto a rope and not get pulled in the other direction from
against Darrell, though.
They're the same weight. Like, it's not a big deal. It's basically...
Oh my god. I can't believe it.
Really? Did you see Laurel doing that against, what's her name? Who was it?
Tori?
No, it was...
Brittany.
Yeah. And, like, Laurel weighs 30 more pounds, and Brittany was able to hold her for, like, 25 minutes.
All right. Well,
yeah.
Nelson, I'm glad you're back. Not necessarily.
I like Nelson. He's great.
Let's focus on the positive,
that wasn't
please.
just like, to me, that just wasn't a great example of his best performances.
Yeah.
It was fine, but there's nothing special about it. Nelson's, he's really good. He kind of ends up falling short a lot of times in the political side because he's usually aligned with Corey, and Corey has tons of enemies. This last year...
Mostly bananas.
Yeah. And, he's in relationships with chicks, or at least hypothetical relationships. We're not really sure.
Yeah.
But, like, it's funny because, like, Nelson's super nice, but he seems to have no game at all. But he's, like, a good competitor. And then there's Corey, who has tons of game with the women, but no ability in any of the missions or eliminations. So they're, like, yin and yang together, Corey and Nelson. They're, like... package deal, and I have no idea if Corey's going to be on this season.
Yeah, I was going to say Nelson will not have his yin. He's just
but
yang,
maybe he'll be better off without him.
He could, yeah, exactly.
And
that's
even last year, like Corey was out like almost immediately in the beginning. So
Nelson, you're back. Next is Joss. Joss made this huge splash at the very beginning when he like outran everybody up that goddamn mountain.
Yeah,
won $25,000. Didn't keep a damn dime of it
because that sucks for him.
He's thrown into elimination against Derek, and that was like elimination of the year, possibly ever. Like that was amazing performance. So the guy's in tremendous shape, and he seems to want to be able to play the game. I think him and Brad had a couple of good conversations where they were kind of becoming friends in a sense. So that means Joss can make those handshakes with the right people. I mean, if you're doing that with Brad is fucking great. Like, I would want to get in with Brad. I feel like he would take me to the end as well,
I don't know that I would want to be associated with Brad.
What? Why?
I don't know. He gets really angry over pizza sometimes.
That's true.
He's got anger management issues. He's like Macho Man. He freaks out.
But Joss is back. Good for him.
Yeah, I'm super stoked that Joss is back. A little bit not excited just because I think Joss is so damn good. I think he's like guaranteed to win. Like,
and you just don't like him enough?
Well, the reason I don't like it is because it's not even like fair because I feel like Joss is so much better. But that's kind of a good thing because I feel like he's such a favorite. The only way he'll be eliminated would be in like a puzzle or something like that. Or if like his partner fails him in some way.
A puzzle against Derek again? They're like, get this kid out of here. He's not even a kid. He's an old man, that Derek.
Yeah. Like, that was like the greatest elimination ever, him versus Derek.
Yeah.
To me, it was the greatest one ever. I've never seen anything more brutal and physical ever.
Great shit.
So, that's awesome that Joss is back. I think he's going to win. He's my favorite to win it.
It's possible. It's totally possible. Next we have, I'm going to draw this random card once again, and we have Veronica, Tori, Sylvia, and Marie. Veronica, starting with Veronica, I'm a huge fan. I think she's like probably the top 3 women of all time to compete in this thing. And she retired a long time ago. And then she came back and she hasn't left. She's like, just like, I'm going to stick with this shit, which I like. I enjoy. I think she's like 40 now, something like that. But
it's like 2 years older than you.
That ass is like a red wine, motherfucker. What?
Yeah, I like Veronica. She's fine. Like when she first came back, that first season, whatever one it was, I wasn't too hot on her. I was like, all right, whatever. Just like another washed up. And that was the same way with Jemmy. When she first came back, I was like, oh, whatever. You're just rehashing old people that we saw, like 8 years ago. But then, like, they both grew on me, and I've started to like them both. Veronica's really good.
Last
she's
scene,
not phenomenal, but she's really good, and she definitely has the wit and the smarts to the game that a lot of younger people lack.
If Veronica could just up her political game, where she's able to shake hands with, CT, Bananas, those the people that seem to tend to run the things, that'd be fine. But she does fine outside of all that. She had this awesome elimination between Anissa and herself, and then she broke her fucking finger last time we saw her. Remember that?
Yeah.
Yeah. She fucking broke her finger on Anissa.
Yeah. That
allegedly. We're talking about that where they were talking about like Anissa's like, I want to eat out your pussy and shit like that. Remember that?
Oh. Is that where she broke her finger? I thought it was an elimination.
Clit of steel, I tell you.
Oh, I thought you were saying that Anissa likes to eat everything and she just bit her finger and broke it.
Whoa, Gollum style?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Veronica's back. I think it's great. I like it. We need more people like her. Next is Tori. I like Tori.
Yeah, where was Tori last year?
She showed up as a mercenary.
Yeah, and that was it. Like, it was a bummer, because the season before, it was a Dirty 30?
Yeah.
No, not Dirty 30.
No, yeah, Dirty 30 was her premiere. Yeah.
Yeah, when she got to the final, and, like, Derek was in that final, Jordan won, Camilla
and it seemed
won.
like Tori fucking won, but it turned out she got third. If she was with Jordan the entire final, basically, and Jordan won, how did she get third?
Not win?
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm blaming that on MTV. I think they screwed it up big time.
Tori's been relegated to the miniseries, Champs vs. Stars 1.
No,
and
not
Champs
relegated. Elevated.
Elevated. Is it relegated a bad word to use?
It's like getting demoted to the minor league team.
What about regulated, or is that worse?
I don't think that word is used properly in that situation.
Regurgitation? Is that better?
But yeah, Tori's been on the Champs vs. Stars, and she's awesome on that. Her Hulk Hogan impression was a little cringeworthy. But anything making fun of Brooke Hogan, I'm down. So
yeah,
as long as it made her feel uncomfortable, I'm okay.
Yeah, did Tori have to reenact the Gawker lawsuit? I mean, that was in poor taste. But Tori's back. I think she's like really funny and animated, and she's also really good in elimination. And she fucking rocked in finals. I think she's just like the future, one of these future.
Yeah, she's a whole package. She's got personality. She's a good competitor. She's nice and she's not a bitch, and that is super rare because a lot of the women they put on these shows, they just come off as bitches. Like when you look at like Kayla, Amanda, those are more the norm. And then like even like Jemmy at times and Kaylee kind of came off that way. It's very rare to have a Tori or a Jenna or just like a nice person.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I think some Tori's exes would disagree with her being a nice person. Remember how they're like, she does not give a shit about human beings. She just wants to be famous. You know what I mean?
Oh, they just couldn't handle her. She's too hot. They can get close, but they can't touch it. Right?
Oh, Jesus Christ. What is that? On wings of wax? Too close to the sun. Icarus. Hickory dickory Icarus. All right, next, let's go on to Sylvia. Sylvia, who I do like. She usually doesn't stick around too much because she finds herself getting put into eliminations early every time. Yeah,
she hasn't gotten quite into the political game or like gotten a lot of allies in the game. But she seems to stick around for like 4 episodes. She'll usually win like an elimination before she ends up losing one.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't like her at all the first season she was on. It might have been Invasion of the Champions.
Yep.
And then But after that, every season I've kind of liked her more and more. And she's also one of those people who's actually kind of nice. She does have like she will stand up for herself. That's for sure. But she doesn't seem to instigate stuff, which I appreciate that.
Yeah, she was in that terrific elimination against Melissa, where Melissa was like doing all those MMA moves on her and shit.
She's elbowing her and kneeing her.
Sylvia though has a chin apparently, and was able to just still win. And
yeah.
And
she didn't punch Melissa in the face, which I'm surprised.
But Sylvia was unceremoniously let go. TJ was like, "Oh, by the way, Sylvia, turns out she was sick, but she's gone."
Is that how she had an illness?
Yeah, on Vendettas, she just took off. We weren't even showing her like, going to the hospital dramatically or anything. TJ's like, "Yeah, she's gone."
Apparently, she ate a bad burrito in Spain.
Oh, come on. So she's back. I hope she can up her political game so she doesn't have to go into these eliminations. But I mean, she can hang in eliminations. She's really good in them,
And a lot of the female cast and the male cast this season is a lot of the same. So just familiarity with the other castmates, you'll make new alliances.
Yeah, because this is Sylvia's third season now.
Yep.
All right. So next, on to Marie. Marie, who I don't believe in as a competitor, but she wants to be in the camera enough where she does create some material, some storylines. But for the most part, I don't know. I'm not completely won over.
I feel like any episode that has storylines that are kind of basically focused on Marie are just annoying as shit, because I find Marie annoying as shit. I feel like she contrives a lot of stuff, makes drama where it really isn't. She's kind of a two-faced person where she's nice to someone's face, and then she does the confessional and is like, I was nice to her, but I don't give a shit about her. I'm going to throw her in the next chance I can get. And she thinks she's being clever, but she's not really clever. She's just kind of annoying. And it's weird because she is two-faced, where she'll actually be really likable for like 3 scenes, and you'll be like, oh yeah, Marie, she's all right, and then as the episode goes on, you're like, oh my god, I hate this person. It's weird because like it happens every episode I see her, where I'm like, oh yeah, maybe Marie's okay, yeah, she's all right. No, I hate her, and it's just back and forth in my brain whether I like her or hate her, and it's like I figure her out enough now where I just realize that I don't like her.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't believe in her as a competitor, so I don't see her getting to the final at all. Because she pisses people off and then gets sent into elimination.
Yeah,
so.
And it's usually not a good thing to like pick out Cara Maria, who's like the top female competitor, and make Cara Maria hate you, because it's putting a giant target on your back. You gotta earn your stripes first. Get some experience.
That's like Corey calling out Bananas in a way.
Yeah,
right?
A little out of your league.
All right, let's move on to the next card. The next 4 people: Amanda, Brittany, Jenna, and Kayla. Amanda first.
Wait,
Amanda
you just put all the hot girls together.
That is objective though, or no, that's subjective. Yes.
No, it's objective.
But in a way, you're making objects of them. I never said they were hot. That's the eye of the beholder and whatnot. You know what I mean? All right, the one-eyed of the beholder.
All right, moving on.
All right. Let's start with Amanda Garcia. I've always really enjoyed her. I wanted her to come back for Vendetta. She didn't do that. Dirty 30, I think she was thrown in rather early. I think they had a purge at the very beginning or something. Is that what happened to her?
Maybe that's, yeah.
I think that's what happened, yeah. But I'm a huge fan of her. I think she's got the chops elimination-wise. You saw her thinking outside the box in Invasion of the Champions. Also, she was really good friends with Ashley Mitchell. I like those two together, but Ashley Mitchell is not here. So,
okay. Good.
So Amanda's going to have to operate by herself.
That's good, because Ashley Mitchell has worn her welcome with me. I used to like her, and now I'm kind of just annoyed. But
I can see that.
Yeah. I like Amanda a lot. She's super entertaining. She does get a little bit cliquey with other girls, like Ashley. And then they start picking on people and starting drama. And I don't appreciate that side of Amanda. So I think the fact that she's on her own this season, that'll be better for her.
Yeah.
And she's hot.
Oh yeah, she's totally
That's
hot.
those adorable freckles. How can you not like that?
Yeah. I want to connect the dots. Yeah. Okay. Anyways, moving on to Brittany. Brittany's back. I like Brittany. She was mostly associated with Brad last time we saw her. Remember that? Like all her storyline was because she was with Brad and Zach and Tony hated Brad and blah blah blah.
And if that was like the first time you saw Brittany, you might not like her that much because she didn't do a whole lot last year other than just hang on Brad's arm. But if you'd seen her before that, like
Dirty 30.
Yeah, Dirty 30. Like Brittany's awesome. She's great. She's got personality. She's got athletic ability. She's kind of a total package, I think.
You know, like how Amanda should do better now that Ashley Mitchell is in here. Brittany should do better now that Brad isn't here, but Brad is there, so.
Oh.
Yeah. And are they still together, though? I don't know. Are they together?
Know.
You know?
I think so.
Yeah?
Well, as, you know, but we don't know what's going to happen on the season. Maybe Brad is going to get with Marie or something. Who knows?
Ew. No, they wouldn't do that. They fought over Pizzagate. They had that stupid ass. Remember, Marie stole pizza, and Brad's like, "That is so stupid." Like,
oh yeah, right? Who knows? Brad's made dumb decisions in the past.
Like getting married to Tori.
Well, maybe Brittany will move on to Joss or Kyle. Maybe
Really?
she'll go for that
You're
British.
just coming up with these storylines here.
I know. I'm just saying. Anytime there's a couple that shows up there, I mean, Brad is usually. Remember Brad and Tori? Like his fiance when they were on a season together, they're just bitching and yelling at each other the entire time. This season could come down to that, and we could end up hating Brad and Brittany. We love them both right now, but this is dangerous for them both showing up.
Right.
Could get ugly real quick.
All I gotta say about Brittany is just stay out of elimination. She's not the best at them. She really isn't. I mean, Well, wait, hold on. I'm thinking. Well, she lost Vendettas, but I think she won a couple. In Dirty 30, I'm not sure.
I don't remember any of them, to be honest.
Yeah. I'm just grasping at straws here. Let's go next to Jenna. Jenna's back.
Yes, we haven't seen Jenna in a while because she broke her foot.
Yeah.
On Champs versus Stars / Pros or whatever it's called.
Yeah. Remember when you had me and all of America believe that perhaps Camilla broke her ankle or something like that?
That was my theory. That was my half-baked theory.
That was a crazy theory. It
did. Because all of the storylines coming out of the spoilers for that season, it was all like, Jenna gets sent home with a broken foot, and Camilla gets banished from the challenge forever. And you're like, well, obviously it has to be related. I thought Camilla broke her foot and she was, it made sense to me.
Jenna wasn't on Vendettas. And for me, I was like, how serious was this fucking foot injury? You know
It
what
was
I mean?
bad. She had screws. She had 7 or 10 different screws.
She got screwed by 7 different what?
By titanium.
Zach was there.
Titanium screws.
Some guy named Titanium.
No, the stuff they make the space shuttle out of. Titanium.
Oh my god. So Jenna's gonna return like fucking a cyborg, right? She's gonna have all the powers of the
Why, if she
machinery and
front
stuff.
kicks somebody or, right to the chin?
You know where they should have put that technology is in her throat. Because she can't eat.
Oh. I thought you were going somewhere completely different. I thought it was either going to be something related to blowjobs or something related to her sounding dumb and saying dumb things. Maybe something that'll censor her stupid things she says.
Okay, so when she says dumb shit but in a robot voice, I'm like, no, that sounds better.
If she talks like Stephen Hawking, suddenly you're going to be like, yes, Mexico is an island, Jenna.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
This is awesome that Jenna's back. I'm super stoked.
Yeah, it is.
She's, that she's my current favorite female.
Yeah. You
And,
like her hard.
admittedly, she's ditzy, but that gives her kind of a weird personality. She's funny. She's nice and likable. And in missions and eliminations, she always surprises you and does something awesome where she'll just totally dominate something. You're like, damn, that was awesome. She's never won a final. She can't really do any of the eating competitions, and puzzles are also a weakness of hers.
But she's gotten to 3 finals.
Yeah.
She's done very good in eliminations. I think her very first loss and only loss was against her own friend Kayla. Yeah, that was the only time. So Jenna, I mean, we say that she's ditzy, yet she's like this great athlete because there's a bit of a trade-off. You know who Ryan Lochte is?
I've heard the name.
He's a swimmer. He's not Michael Phelps, but he's definitely like one of those Olympic swimmers.
Okay.
He's got this dyed white hair. He lied about getting robbed at gunpoint in Rio.
Oh, I remember this story. Yeah.
I saw an interview with him, and he is literally like one of the dumbest motherfuckers you will ever talk to. Like, he can't even make sentences sometimes, but he's just this beautiful, in-shape person who gets medals in the Olympics. You know what I mean? That's Jenna right there. There's definitely a trade-off.
I've been to the gym before. I've met those type of people. If you don't use the word swole in a sentence, or protein shakes.
Like, honestly, I thought she was done. When she was not in Vendettas, I'm like, oh my god, like, her foot is that fucked up, or whatever, so.
Maybe it is, we don't know. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
So hopefully she can bounce back. She doesn't re-injure it.
Are we talking springs on her foot? Literally bouncing and shit?
Oh my gosh, that'd be amazing.
Alright, next we have Kayla. Kayla's back. Kayla, I like what she represents as a new woman who is talented physically, but personality-wise, I don't really care for her. She goes way over the top when she's trying to talk shit. She comes off as a huge fucking bitch. Like, you can't sit next to us, okay? I'm sorry. You know what I mean? Those types, the types that are like, listen to me. Well, no, I don't think she's ever clapped before, but I can't stand those types either.
Yeah.
You ever see those women who are like, when they're fighting, like, you listen. Like they're clapping in front of you, like, stop it. Fucking stop that.
And a lot of her arguments, they'll kind of just be
fun.
petty. And it's like, yeah, we know that you don't like that person, and that's obvious to everyone. You don't need to go over the top and announce it to the entire world because, like, we already know. But, like, Kayla will do that sometimes. And it's weird because, like, Kayla, I usually enjoy her, like, 3 out of 4 episodes. But, like, or maybe 2 out of 3 episodes. But every couple episodes, Kayla will do something where I'm just kind of shaking my head. I'm like, come on, you're better than that.
It's funny because I think it was Invasion of the Champions was her first season, and I remember thinking, like, she is the hottest fucking girl here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, when you get to know someone, the looks don't necessarily matter because you know them as a person and shit like that.
That is true.
And, so.
And have you ever seen the lipstick she wears?
It is
the ugliest fucking shade of lipstick in the goddamn planet.
What is that? Dog dick red?
No, it's like that would be an improvement. She has like that lipstick that is that super dark red. It's like maroon meets like a brick wall. It's so dark in color that it just looks dumb. It looks dumb. Just go with classic red, or it'll be like super. I don't know. It's so freaking outrageous that it's just distracting. And I'm staring at her ugly lipstick and not, like, appreciating the other things I could be appreciating in a beautiful chick.
Okay. But, yeah, Kayla's there. How's she doing in eliminations? I really can't recall right now. I don't recall. She finally got to a final last season on Vendettas. She ended up getting 4th, I believe. So she ended up making money. She's back, all right? Moving on. Here's another card here. We have Chuck Mowry, Polly Cauliflower. I doubt it. Zach, and then Tony, the replacement. Let's talk about this. Starting with Chuck Mowry from Are You the One 3. I've said this before where, like, it doesn't really matter where you come from as long as you perform right, but here's Chuck Mowry.
Looks like a California surfer dude.
Yeah.
Looks like Uriah Faber, but 6 inches taller.
He looks like who's the Horse Lord from Game of Thrones?
Jaime Lannister?
No, the Horse Lord, dude.
I don't know who a Horse Lord is.
Drago, whatever.
Oh.
Kind of
Okay.
looks like him. The guy who played
Alright.
Aquaman.
Yeah.
Kind of looks like Jason Momoa, right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like minus the steroids. Or something.
Horse Lord?
Wasn't he a horse lord?
No.
Horse fucker? What was it?
Well, they rode horses, but he wasn't a lord.
I thought
they
they
don't
were
have
like
kingdoms over in Essos.
I could have swore there was something to do with horses, right?
Yeah, he's a Dothraki, but they rode horses, but he was not a lord. He had
Wait a
no
minute. The Lord of
official
all
title.
horses is Shadowfax from Lord of the Rings. Yeah.
Yeah.
Shadowfax.
See
Anyways,
you Tuesday morning at the first light.
Chuck Mowry is there from Are You the One 3. We don't know a thing about him, so
Yeah.
there you
I
go.
don't-
Next is Polly Califari.
Malignati?
How do you pronounce that?
Paulie Malignati. That's the guy who Conor McGregor was boxing with.
No, it wasn't.
Right? No? Oh, that's a different Paulie. I don't know.
I was like
Wait,
excited for a second.
Let me actually look at his name. I didn't even read it.
All right, here he is. Polly Califiore from Big Brother 18 and X on the Beach US. He basically looks like Joss, from what I can tell from his picture.
Yeah, I don't like that his name looks like California, but like a little bit different.
Yeah, is that
Califiore.
So he's from Big Brother, which is, I've heard of Big Brother. And X on
Natalie
the
was
Beach.
on there.
X on the Beach, that's like a new thing. I think Corey's on X on the Beach right now.
Yeah, he got relegated to X on the Beach. That's how you would use that term. That's the minor leagues. Yeah, I don't know. I guess X on the Beach is actually a pretty popular show. I know, actually, I was going to say I know a lot of people who watch it, but I just follow a lot of people on Twitter who talk about it.
Okay.
Because they also, are related to the challenge as well. But it's fairly popular. So I think there's a lot of... I mean, if you're a fan of that show and you watched it, you're going to really be excited about some of the new castmates.
Yeah.
You'll have a little bit inside knowledge on who these people are.
But yeah, he's from those shows. I don't know what else to say about him. He's a new guy. Next we have Zach. You're a big fan of his.
Yeah.
I always
It's
say that so-
disappointing he didn't get that puzzle.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he is kind of a bimbo jock type, so I'm not completely blown away that he didn't get that puzzle at the end.
Oh my God, are we gonna get another him and Jenna? Will they? Won't they?
Oh
sort of
my
thing?
God! Oh no, it's gonna be Zach, Jenna, Tori, and Derek H, or whoever that guy is,
Yeah.
in a 4-way
What? They don't.
orgy
Yeah?
style. Yeah,
Oh my God.
it's gonna be great. Oh man, I didn't think about Zach and Jenna. Yeah, because Jenna's forever gonna be in love with Zach. Because, look at those pecs. How can you not be, right?
Yeah. All
And
right.
Zach has such an ego about himself that he can't help but just lead girls on just enough so they keep chasing him just to stroke his own ego. That's kind of who Zach is. So even though he's not really interested in Jenna, he's gonna lead her on.
Zach, he got to the final, his third final overall. Ended up taking second place, which is fine. I think so far he's won, he's taken third, and he's taken second. So, and I also feel like Zach's shaking hands with the right people politically, and
Yeah.
he's a powerhouse within himself. He's not butting heads with CT, who would be like a very bad opponent for him. He's actually kind of working together. He's working with Bananas. He's working with all these other guys like Tony and shit. So
Yeah. He surprisingly plays a very smart political game, even though he's very stupid when it comes to puzzles, I think. But
yeah. But he's back, and good for him. I don't
I'm
think he-
excited because there was a point where he was gone for a couple seasons, and I just thought he was never coming back. So I'm appreciate to have him back.
Yeah. Remember when he had the long hair like Thor, and then he cut it
I
off like
know.
Thor?
It's so disappointing. You had to give it to all those cancer patient kids. Those greedy kids. Zach deserves his hair back.
Next, we have Tony, who is a replacement. We don't know for who. I remember when I heard this, though, I'm like, A, why is Tony a replacement? Shouldn't he be on the cast? He was amazing last season. Why is he being called to come in later? Or is this a big show thing where they're like, remember how Abram was a replacement in Bloodlines? But just conveniently enough, his girlfriend was messing around with some guy, so it was the perfect time to put him in there.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
almost like they're scheduled. And I feel like they did this. There was somebody else, I don't remember. But what happens is they do the thing where everybody in the cast is flying out, but then there's one person in the cast who like can't get their visa or their passport or something in order before they leave the country, and then they get delayed by like a week. So like maybe Tony forgot to submit some paperwork, he had to re-up his passport, and he shows up a week late. So then, they're just like, well, you'll be a replacement. We're going to get you on the cast. We just need to look for the right opportunity. And then, then they'll be like, oh, Sylvia, I think you have a cold. Oh, you're gone. Boom. Tony. Yeah, replacement. And they'll do something like that.
I'm glad that he's there. It is weird that he's just a replacement. Why not have him on that cast? But I was such a huge, when Tony came on the scene in Battle of the Bloodlines, I was immediately fascinated. I'm like, look at this guy. Like, he's able to work the camera. He's fucking chicks. He's getting in fights. He's doing everything that you're supposed to do to become a star. But he kept on fucking up by either getting hurt or Camilla and him yelling at each other. And there was always some reason. So
cheating on his girlfriend.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't get you kicked out of the show, just out of the house for.
But it just makes you kind of dislike him.
Sure, yeah. But then last season, Tony came back. Did he cheat?
No,
he didn't cheat.
No, he said at the reunion from last year's show that he was a changed man and his girlfriend believed him, and everyone was a little skeptical of it. But he talked the talk, and now this last season he walked the walk until the final, where he was literally walking and not running.
Oh my God, yeah. And what he did during the season is that he was winning missions when he had to, and then in that Troika, he was able to manipulate things to go his way. He also betrayed his leader, Johnny Bananas.
Yeah, when the opportunity was right,
yes,
he seized the moment and he was not afraid. He knew because he had learned from the best. Was it Wes and?
Well, he said he learned it from Bananas. He's like, I feel like you should be proud of me for what I did in a way. You know what I mean? Because I'm your protege or whatever. So,
yeah.
So he's back, and that's awesome. I feel like that's just fantastic. All right, moving on. I'm going to draw another card here, and we'll talk about Kaylee, Jose, Derek H., and Shane. Starting off with Kaylee. Kaylee, who really didn't do too much last season except to have an alleged affair, not even an affair, but an alleged relationship, hookup with Johnny Bananas, which was this huge controversial thing. And it also resulted in her being ostracized by
from her little bedroom mates.
Yeah.
They all ganged up on her and said, get the fuck out, you can't sleep here anymore, and tossed her bed and all her clothes and her backpack off the balcony. I said, get the fuck out. And then she was upset and didn't like the fact she was being bullied, so she left the show.
That was a huge thing, too, because production, they were like, if bullying is going on, go on to this website and shit. Like, they really went out of their way to say, we here at MTV, The Challenge, are anti-bullying, you know what I mean? But I'm like, yeah, you kind of are. This is what I said. It's basically UFC allowing their fighters to get tested by USADA. The Challenge has thrived on assholes doing un-PC things, and now they're trying to get very PC friendly and they offer someone, they're like, Kayla did some shit, because it was like,
they've rewarded this behavior for decades.
Yes.
And then suddenly now when the time's right, they're gonna be like, oh no, we're taking a stand, we're completely against it. It's like, where the fuck have you been for 20 years? Have you not watched this TV show? Because that's way worse shit has happened. Almost every season, way worse stuff happens. And I'm not saying what they did was definitely wasn't nice. It was probably a little over the top, but it was nothing drastic. It was really, to me, I was just a little put off by it because it was something that we've seen every season. Somebody always the season before. Yeah,
Simpsons
remember in the
did it.
Redemption House when Cara Maria threw Jordan's stuff in the pool? Like, the Redemption House was like a secondary
Yes.
house.
Yes.
Cara Maria was pissed off.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And, like, it happened that, like, it happens, like, every season. Somebody gets their suitcase and their clothes thrown somewhere. Usually it's in the pool. Hers just got thrown over the balcony. So I was like, it didn't even go in water. What are you complaining about?
What is she complaining about? I mean, this shook her to her core. She had to go sleep in a hotel, right?
Wow, yeah.
And
Those
then-
offers are like, hey, do you want to go stay at the Four Seasons tonight? She was like, really? Do they have a hot tub? Okay.
She stays at the hotel, and then the next day, her alleged boy toy gets eliminated, and then she follows after him like, Johnny, wait. She leaves the show. Does not get reprimanded by TJ whatsoever, because TJ's like, I can't rip on this woman.
Yeah.
I'm in a delicate situation right now.
I don't know. It was basically she got, they did that to her, and she fully understood that no one in the house
Liked her. Or trusted
Now,
her.
there was some people who kind of had her back during that incident, but they never had her back before then.
Right.
All they were doing was like, hey, leave her alone. Like, she's not our friend. Like, we don't care about her in any way. But just don't be mean. That's what they were saying to the, Jemmy and Kayla and
Cam was like
Cam.
the idea
Cam
of it like
Yeah.
grouping on someone she didn't like. She didn't say like I like Kaylee. She was just saying I don't like the idea of a bunch of people ganging up on someone. So
Yeah, so people had her back in that sense, but she didn't have any friends in the house. She was just a lone wolf, and she wanted to get out of there. So
was,
we'll see if she can bounce back this year and see if she can make friends with perhaps Derek H.
would you accept her back if you're in the challenge house? Because me personally, I would assume I'm friends with Nelson. I'm like, come here, you little knucklehead. You know what I mean? Because I like Nelson and I want him to win, and she did Nelson wrong. You know what I mean? So I wouldn't like her,
I wouldn't like her.
and I wouldn't trust her either.
No, I don't like her pretentious British accent. But that's beside the point.
Who was it? The Puritans? You're basically the Puritans. They're like, let's get the fuck out of here. Let's go.
Wait, who are the Quakers? Maybe I'm a Quaker.
I have
I
no
don't know.
idea. All right, next. Let's go to Jose.
Is it Jose or Jose?
It's definitely Jose. Yeah.
Yeah?
Actually, it's spelled Jozea.
What? Oh my gosh.
Anyways, he's from Big Brother originally, but he's actually in Champs vs. Stars 2 right now. Isn't that weird?
Is he?
Yeah.
That's the same guy?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy to me. Because I'm like, that name is familiar. And I was like, oh, that's kind of weird.
But no, he was on Champs vs. Stars, and it's like, why is it that he gets to go on there? Other people from Big Brother, like Natalie, she went straight to Vendettas as their premiere. Why is it that Jose gets to premiere on a miniseries with like Booby and all Lil Mama and Hennessy? You know what I mean?
That is
like,
true.
Was he that huge on Big Brother?
That is very strange because Big Brother is not a big enough thing where you should be able to get on Champs vs. Stars. He's not a star. I mean, albeit like Champs vs. Stars is like really like B or C level stars at this point. But yeah, I don't know. There's no explaining it other than maybe they needed a last second replacement
Yeah.
and Tony wasn't available, so they called up Jose.
I find that hard to believe. Why wasn't Tony there? All right. Well, let's get into Derek H. Derek, I think his last name is Henry. Tori's ex.
Is that from Invasion or
Dirty 30.
Dirty 30?
Yeah.
Okay.
Tori's
Didn't he
ex.
quit or something?
No. No,
How did he get eliminated?
he got eliminated. Then he was in the Redemption House, but he just didn't win.
Okay. I
Yeah.
was thinking that like he quit on the show or something,
No.
but I'm thinking of something from Invasion, some other guy.
All I have to say is that expect Derek to have some hard feelings, not the good kind, for Tori, Because apparently that's when she slept with Jordan after the final, and then all this other shit that unraveled and stuff like that. Well, her and Derek were together apparently, but he's back.
I remember I liked him a lot. I remember thinking like, oh, he's the boyfriend of Tori. I like Tori. I'm not gonna like him. But I was like, oh no, actually he's a really nice, cool dude. So I'm excited he's back. Well, I don't know if I'm excited, but I'm fine with it. Like,
Yeah.
I have nothing against the guy. I think he seems like a good competitor.
Yeah.
It's definitely a worthy addition.
Next, we have Shane. Shane, who is
Shane
just...
L.
He's actually on Champs versus Stars right now, where like, okay, you're not a champ, you're not a finalist, you're just good television, basically, right? Or is it wearing
that's
thin?
very
Is it wearing
subjective.
thin? Because, okay, I think the way I see it is like, I liked Shane in Invasion of the Champions, where he was a catty bitch, but he also did way more things. Like, he was a leadership position, and he did finals, or eliminations, where he punked out Tony, you know what I mean? So I think he's just, he hasn't been able to do much, but just be kind of catty.
Yeah,
You know what
on that season, his first season back, I don't think he was ever catty. He would get into arguments like 2 times an entire season, and that was it. Now it's catty because he's getting into these arguments every single time, every episode. Anytime there's any type of altercation with anybody, Shane's got to jump in there and just act like a bitch towards somebody. And just, he's really good at getting in an argument with a person and just kind of
Turning it into a scene.
Yeah, turning the subject and turning it all into a scene and just taking shit to another level where it didn't need to go there. And you're just like, dude, just chill out. You're acting like a child right now. And Shane is 30 years old, probably older, but he acts like he's a 16-year-old, but like not even an intelligent 16-year-old, like just a drama queen.
No, I mean, like I said, it's kind of wearing thin. Where I'm like,
Yeah.
you're back. You should be more full of wisdom. I mean, he is full of wisdom on how to portray yourself and get more camera time. But it's like, yeah, you are 30 something, and it's time to move on. Create a more nuanced character, perhaps. I don't know.
Exactly. He needs to rebrand his image a little bit. Because if
What do
you
you
watch
say?
him,
Tighten up the wrist, huh? Is that what you're saying?
yeah, that wouldn't hurt. But he needs to improve upon the way he's been acting. He just acts so childish lately.
Because he's a good athlete.
Yeah, he is, and he's very smart politically. He just needs to stop getting in these little petty arguments. Because when he acts this way, he comes off like Amanda or Ashley Mitchell sometimes.
Yeah.
Ashley Mitchell's just annoying. She doesn't always get into arguments, but she's just annoying in general.
I'm sorry, is her family members dying, so she has to leave early? A problem for you?
Well, what's crying gonna do about it? Oh, we're gonna die. What are you crying about it? That'll solve problems.
All right,
pull the plug on her dad.
Moving on, we have Melissa, Natalie, Cam, and Jemmy. Starting off with Melissa.
I didn't know that half of these people were going to be on here. That's awesome.
All right, well, let's talk about Melissa. She caught my attention. She seems villainous, especially the way she performed in that elimination against Sylvia.
Yeah, that was very unexpected.
I loved it though. I fucking loved because she not only did she know what to do, but she fucking did it to another human being where they should have said, "Wow, you are DQ'd." You know what I mean?
I was super upset watching that elimination because I was like, they need to throw her out of the show. She's crossed the line.
I loved it though.
Shit.
I was eating it up when it was happening. I love that fucking show.
Well, that's just because they were in a bunch of baby oil.
No, I mean, okay, we're both UFC fans. We like the women fighters just because the
they're not covered in baby oil.
Oh, that's an
makeup.
added bonus, yeah. They're wearing Venom
MTV.
shorts before the Reebok deal and shit.
And also, a good thing about Melissa was just her relationship with Nicole. How, like,
Oh, yeah, that's right.
She never seemed like she was a lesbian the first couple episodes, but then all of a sudden Melissa just decides that she's going to use Nicole to try and get further in the game. So she's just like, whatever. Well, if it helps me in the game, I'll do it. I don't care.
Yeah, I'll mush them together.
She's like, I'll pleasure you if you pleasure me.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I think that she's a good addition. I wanted her to come back before, so I'm glad she's back.
I would have been fine without her, but
Oh no, I think time will tell. I think she could be a big part of this show, just like Natalie. Yeah.
Yeah, perhaps.
No, we'll see. We'll see.
I'm
just saying
cautiously optimistic in
right.
both cases.
Oh yeah, for sure. Next we have Natalie. Natalie, who was involved with Johnny Bananas, and then turns out they weren't because Johnny Bananas was like, we don't even make out. We just fucking talk to each other, all cutesy like and flirty, but we never actually make out, barely.
Yeah, it's because Natalie friend zoned Bananas
and Nelson.
Yeah, like she's a friend zone master. And like Bananas was really going after her, and she let him on, and she let him on. She friend zoned him, and then he was just like, "Well, god damn it!" and then all of a sudden the caning thing got thrown in his face, and he was like, "Fuck this! I'm not explaining myself to a friend." Apparently, and Natalie, and he just got eliminated and goes home and just The last time we saw Bananas, he got seriously just like shat on in every single way, in every perspective of the game.
Oh yeah.
And I'm excited that Natalie's back because we get to see a sequel to this. I think all of that's really just going to be put in the past. I don't think much of that's really going to have much of an effect.
They work together again?
No. I don't think they'll be friends, but I think the romance or whatever, the wanted romance, that's over. I think if anything, there might be some animosity there, and I think they might work against each other.
Mostly against her. Like, what can she do against Bananas again? I mean, she's gonna have to try and orchestrate. Devin, Tony, Nelson, her, they're all gonna have to band together to make something.
I think it'll be two big alliances. There'll be Bananas, CT, Cara Maria, and Zach. Then you have Tony, Nelson, Devin.
But Natalie proved that she really was in it for herself, which was great television. Like I really loved Natalie in that season. But it seemed like a lot of them were not willing to forgive all the betrayals, apparently.
Yeah. I think everyone was just super constantly annoyed at her trying to play both sides on everything. And the fact that it was working. Be friends with everyone.
She was in the Troika, more than a couple times.
Yeah, undeservedly.
But that's because she was stringing Bananas along. How pimp is that? So, you got to think. I don't know. To me, it was between her and Cam for Rookie of the Year. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But to me, it's definitely Cam was better than Natalie because Natalie's weakness was she was naive in how the game worked. And she was trying to please everyone. She would never admit she was in an alliance. And she was saying that the fact that she was on the Big Brother show, on Big Brother apparently, you never tell anyone you're in an alliance with somebody else. Like, you just can't do that. So on this show, she didn't want to do that either. And a lot of people got annoyed by that. The fact is, no, if you're going to be working with them, just say you're working with them. That's fine. Just be upfront and honest about it. And I think she didn't fully understand how the challenge is played. And now that she has that first season under her belt, I think she's a smart girl and she'll be able to improve in a lot of ways.
Yes. Yeah, that's why I'm excited that she's back. I'm like, this was great. Because when Natalie left, it's because she went against the other Rookie of the Year, Cam. And Cam was just on a hot streak that season, and was able to take out Natalie. But I had faith in Natalie still, whatever. But she's back. That's great. Next, Cam.
She just got eliminated on Champs vs. Stars because...
Oh, come on. Why bring it up?
Oh, too soon. The
wound is still fresh.
But it's honestly, I was super bummed that she's gone from that show because she was one of the most entertaining parts of it. I mean, after Louise, Louise is the best part of the show because she's British and hot. But after that...
Oh, now you like the British accent.
With her, I do. I hated her at first, but now I'm head over heels for her.
All right.
But Cam, it was it left... I feel like it's a big loss for that show. So having her here is awesome because she was complete Rookie of the Year last year. She was phenomenal in every way. She's a great competitor, great personality. She's likable. She's funny. She's smart. She's a total package.
All right.
Gotta love Cam.
Yeah. Got to the final.
Mm-hmm.
Went 3-0 in eliminations. Not by just
Yeah.
nobodies either. Tori, Ashley Mitchell, Natalie. Like, that's amazing. That's extremely impressive.
2 of those people have been to finals.
Yes.
Natalie, it's a rookie year, so obviously she couldn't have been to a final.
Yeah, that was a title eliminator match.
Oh, yeah.
Basically, yeah. But yeah, she's back, and good for her. I'm super rooting for her. Next is Jemmy.
Jemmy, I'm glad Jemmy's back. Like, when she first came back, like I was saying, like, Veronica, it wasn't for her. I was like, just go away. Like, we've seen you before. Old news. But Jemmy has a way of, like, her personality and the way she's able to interject, like, her wit and her comedy into situations. She's so smart. Like, some of the shit she says where you're like, oh, you nailed it on the head. Just every time she says something, she's nailing it right on the head. And she brings a lot to the show in that sense. And last year, I think she really boosted the season. The fact that she was there for like 10 episodes.
Yeah.
She was there a very long time until they had to do that long race right before the final. And like, I think the season was great with her on it.
And I remember when she got last place and she was just like, okay. You know, she just took it on the...
Yeah.
Like, okay, I'll be back and stuff.
She's like, I didn't expect to win the final. And she's like, I was just hoping to get my game check every week, you know? Every episode, you know, they get a couple $1,000. So
Yeah.
I was just like, all right, I made it 10 weeks. We're good.
You know, I'm not confident in her winning. She's been to a final before. She was with Camilla. But I don't see that happening. Even if she got to a final, I just don't see her taking it, you know?
Yeah. As a competitor, I don't think anybody really fears her. But she's smart enough and understands the game and has enough, you know, personal ties with people. And nobody's really threatened by her as a competitor where they'll keep her around. There's no reason to throw her in because they're like, you're not going to do anything in the end anyways. We'll keep her around. Use your vote.
Yeah, she's got a cush gig, really. She's just like, I'm going to be on every episode. I'm going to get that check. And what I put most of my work into is just knowing how the show is played and being able to be that narrative. You know, like she's able to break down what's happening for us as viewers, you know? So that's great. All right, let's go on to the next card with a bunch of newbies. Holy shit. Angela Babeeks from X on the Beach and Bad Girls Club. Holy shit, I know Bad Girls Club. Ever watch that show?
No, I have no idea.
They're
Unless
all
they
hot.
featured it on the Joel McHale show. I have not seen it.
I think they...
So I may
The
have
Joel
seen it.
McHale show starring Joel McHale.
That's correct. That's the one.
Bad Girls Club, man. Fucking, they're always hot, but like extremely trashy and bitchy and just like terrible people. But they're always so fucking hot, man. Where like, you really question yourself as a man. You're like, I know what they're doing is bad, but I still like that because they look really good.
I saw a clip and I saw trashy, terrible people, but none of them were good looking.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I thought they were all like 50 years old with plastic surgery.
Oh, my God.
Maybe that was like the housewives of something.
Yeah.
You know, maybe I was watching a different show.
Baseball, or was it? No, there's no baseball wives out there.
Oh, yeah.
Who would it be? J-Lo? Well, she's not even married to A-Rod. And he's not even playing anymore. Does he play anymore?
No, not anymore, but he does the broadcasting now.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's actually really good at it.
Is he better than us with our constant babbling? All right, and then we also have Devon Rogers, cousin to Aaron Rodgers, perhaps, from
perhaps.
Big Brother 17 and 18. That's interesting. She was so good on Big Brother, she came back for the next season. I don't know how Big Brother is, but I thought they always have all new casts every season.
Yeah, I think that's
Right?
the way it used to be, but I think
really?
now it's kind of like the challenge where they'll bring people back.
And then we have Faith Stowers from X on the Beach and Vanderpump Rules. Now, I've heard
of
Vanderpump.
Vanderpump.
Yeah. All right,
It's-
what's the first word here? Angela Beck.
I've heard of Vanderpump, but I have no idea what the fuck it is. I thought it was that Chris Lee Knows Best show. I had those confused forever because I've seen that one.
All right,
But
so
Vanderpump, I have no idea what it is.
this is Angela Babeeks, X on the Beach, and Bad Girls Club, Twisted Sisters.
That's a band.
Does all the makeup make you fear that
I thought it was
because-
Nicole Ramos at first. But then I was like, no, she's not wearing enough eyelashes.
Nani is.
There's only 200 eyelashes. She needs 700 eyelashes.
But yeah, we don't know her. We don't know how she's going to perform. We have Devon. I think it's Devon. Devon Rogers, Big Brother 17 and 18. We can't tell anything by her picture. And I don't know anything about Big Brother. Who else was in Big Brother and performed great? Natalie. So, doesn't matter where you come from.
Yeah. Let's see how she looks in a bikini first.
And then
see how they match up.
Faith Stowers.
Those are some dreadlocks.
X on the Beach and Vanderpump Rules. Vanderpump Rules might be the most popular show right now. So,
is Vanderpump a person or a place?
the Vanderpumps. It sounds like a German.
Sure. Is it his rules? Is it like Schindler's List, but it's Vanderpump's rules? Like, oh, you gotta follow his rules. I don't know.
I really don't know. But
It's weird because I've heard of it and I've heard it so many times, but you get to a certain point where you're just bombarded with so much information in life where you're like, I'm not even gonna bother Googling it. And when I'm watching TV, I'm just gonna scroll right by it. Like, I don't have time to invest in more knowledge. My brain has enough rattling around inside.
now, I thought that the Vanderpumps was a family.
Okay. Like the Montagues and the
Capulets?
yeah. Are they gonna have a family feud like the old 1800s style?
Well, hey, they never mentioned the other family. They just apparently this is a very biased show in that case. If they're just like from the Vanderpumps versus the Capulets, so
Well, maybe the Vanderpumps won and killed the other family, and now they rule.
Jesus Christ.
They're the king of the castle.
Okay. Well, anyways, Vanderpump Rules. That's a huge name. Like I've heard of it, even though I've never watched it. So we have big name coming in. All right, let's go to the final card. Bananas, Car Maria, CT, and Brad.
Oh,
Start off with Bananas.
we've
What is
talked
there to
about
say?
all of these people in relation to other people. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bananas is back. He's got to try and get some redemption. He's obviously going to have some issues with Devin and with Tony. Some
Yes.
guys who wronged him.
Well, Devin didn't wrong him at all. He just beat him. Tony wronged him.
He called him out,
Yeah.
said he was going to do it, and then he did it.
He did exactly what he said. Devin is Thanos. Holy shit.
Oh my god.
He called it. He predicted all this shit.
Wait,
Oh my
what does that make? So Bananas is like 6 different superheroes?
I'm sorry, but I've been meaning to reference Infinity Wars. No, wait, we did that at the very beginning, didn't we? Or like Final Reckoning, Infinity War. We
Yeah,
made that
just for
connection
like
already.
a throwaway comment.
Yeah.
But you didn't give
But
us your thoughts on the movie and
I
how
was able
amazing it is.
I was able to finally make a comparison directly, and yes, Devin is Thanos. Thank you very much. Devin needs all 6 rings when he says, "Let's go" and shit. Oh, that'd be awesome. But it makes sense though. Johnny Bananas looks, dresses up ridiculous, like his own. He looks like a superhero if you think about it. He's got the
He
Johnny
wears his
Bananas
own branded
brand-
T-shirts.
Yeah, exactly.
He has a bobblehead. It's basically an action figure.
Exactly. So
He makes
that
way
makes
too
perfect
much
sense.
money. He gets with way too hot of chicks. It's just, everything about him's annoying. He's totally a superhero. Gosh, I didn't realize that.
Kaylee? You think Kaylee's a hot chick?
No, not her, but his other chicks he's gotten with.
You're talking about is
Casey, from like 10 years ago.
Casey was hot, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the additions, right?
New Kids on the Block.
Isn't there a Wahlberg in there? Like Donnie Wahlberg? Wasn't he on that? New
Yeah,
Kids on the
I
Block?
think so. I think you're right.
And he's dropping his ass on the weekend. Anyways, Johnny Bananas, a man who doesn't need a introduction, but he's won 6 times. Never been done before. The closest person to do that has been Darrell, winning 4. You know what I mean? He's the richest challenger of all time. He's made so much money. He's stolen plenty from Sarah to earn that spot. But even before that, he he had that spot, just winning all the fucking time. But I just hope that holes have been exposed, so to speak. It sounds oddly sexual, but like they're saying, if you put Johnny Bananas in elimination, he's not good. I think he's like 8-10 now, or something like that.
Yeah.
8 wins, 10 losses. So
and
put him in.
Some of his wins are even kind of like put an asterisk by it, because like when he beat Jordan, they were climbing a wall. Jordan only has one hand, so like it was basically given to Bananas. And Bananas going to win that. So it's
That's
even though his
true.
record is
Jesus
8-10, like it's not even that good.
He's got a huge following, you know. I don't follow him. Do you follow him on Twitter? You do, don't you?
I used to, but then I got sick of his fucking posts because he's so annoying. But I do follow the official The Challenge Twitter page, and they always retweet Johnny Bananas all the time. So it's super annoying to me where I'm just like, damn it, I don't want to look at selfies of him on Lake Tahoe anymore. Bananas doing bananas things. Like, that's all his Twitter is. And it's so goddamn pretentious and annoying. I hate him. I hate him.
Well, he's back. He's still a formidable opponent to most that are there.
And it's anytime he gets eliminated before a final, it's the biggest news of the season. At least it feels that way to me.
Right.
I don't know. Maybe I'm in the minority. Maybe other people don't feel that way. But usually those episodes are always the highest rated. It's always gets tons of talk because everyone knows Johnny Bananas. Even if you don't watch the challenge anymore, you probably knew him from the past. And once you get into the challenge, he's a person that everyone's always talking about because he has such a history and lineage in the show because he's been around forever.
Yeah, it helps to be on every season. And be successful. I don't want to fucking take anything away from him in terms of his performances on the show. I just don't feel like he's original in terms of the confessionals and stuff like that. I feel like he's very weak on that.
His personality leaves a lot to be desired.
Yeah.
Especially when you're surrounded by people like Devin, who have a good personality. People like Wes, basically like anybody else, like Derek, CT. All these people where you're like, oh, I like their personality a whole lot more than I like Bananas.
The thing is, Bananas has probably done more challenges than anyone.
Yeah.
Yet he is the most immature of them all. You know what I mean? Like he's always doing these pranks, and he's like this frat guy and shit, and that's the weirdest thing. He's like in suspended animation because this is where he's able to thrive. This is exactly where acting like an asshole and being physically powerful will fucking pay dividends forever. If you do every fucking season, and it's crazy, man.
But yeah, he has that total frat mentality where it's like, say you're a freshman in college, you just moved out of your parents' house, you're going to this frat party, and there's Johnny Bananas, and he's a 22-year-old, so he's old enough to buy beer, and he thinks he's hot shit because he's been around the block for 4 years, and he is just stuck in that mode, and he has remained that 22-year-old, and now he's 36 or 37, and it's like, dude, you need to get out of those khaki shorts and flip-flops and buy yourself a damn suit and tie or something. Move on.
But not according to his wallet. You know what I mean? Like, that's why he'll never change it's because he's like, why? What I've done, maybe it's just serendipity, but he happened to go on a show where, like, that is encouraged and they thrive on that shit. And he just happens to be one of the best at it. You know what I mean? Like, all that shit. It's fucking crazy.
It's partially because he's really good at the challenge, and it's partially because even though he's really good at the challenge, he doesn't want to apply that to anything else in life and move on from it, Because some people, they get really good at something, they conquer it, then they move on to the next task that they want to get really good at and conquer. But then some people are like, well, wait, no, this is my safe space. I'm really good at this. I never want to do anything else other than just do this.
Who was that chess player that was, like, really good at chess but couldn't function in life?
Oh,
like Fischer, Bobby Fischer.
Bobby Fischer. Yeah.
Is he the Bobby Fischer? You know what I mean? Like, this is, again, it wasn't built for him. It was just they just happen to go together so perfectly. The challenge and Johnny Bananas.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I mean, perhaps, but like Bananas will need to like go on a sabbatical and like leave for like 10 years and then come back and be like super anti-Semitic and then get really weird towards the end of his life.
Is that what happened?
Oh yeah.
I thought Elijah Wood played Bobby Fischer. So Elijah Wood plays Bobby Fischer as like this chess genius, leaves, comes back as like, I don't know who, Judge Reinhold, and like is extremely anti-Semitic. What happens in that
I
movie?
don't think Elijah Wood ever played as Bobby Fischer.
I'm pretty sure. There's a movie called
Finding Bobby Fischer.
Right?
Right? Yeah, Bobby Fischer was not in that movie. It had nothing to do with him.
You mean correct. Elijah Wood wasn't in the movie?
No,
I said Bobby Fischer wasn't in that movie.
Oh. No. There's a movie with Bobby Fischer in the title, and Bobby Fischer is not in the movie, has nothing to do with it.
It's a movie about chess, though, right?
I think so. Yeah, they're just searching for the next Bobby Fischer or something.
Oh,
but
really?
Like, yeah, but it had nothing. It was just like it was just a reference to chess.
Oh, really?
Or something.
Oh,
yeah. Because when people know this name,
Never
and then you watch the movie, and you're like, oh, I thought we were looking for him because he went missing for 15 years, and then he came back, and we're like, oh, there he is, and they're like, oh no, we wanted him to go away. we forgot he's crazy.
I had no idea. That's crazy. Wow. Learn something new.
Yeah, there's a newer Bobby Fischer movie with Tobey Maguire and Liev Schreiber.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I saw some clips from it. It was interesting. I mean, it's a movie about chess, so it's very dull, but it was interesting.
Next is Cara Maria. Cara Maria, who won Vendettas.
Yeah, she did. Allegedly, I never saw TJ hand her a check or anything. Maybe on the
part 2 or whatever.
Yeah, part 2 of the reunion. Sorry, MTV. I'm not giving you ratings for that.
Bananas is the richest challenger of all time. Cara Maria is now the second
Whoa.
richest challenger of all time.
She got tons. Wasn't it like 400,000 or something?
It
or
was
300,000?
so much. It was a lot.
It was tons of money. Damn. I can't believe she even came back. I thought she would just, take a year off. But then she realized that she has nothing going on in her life. And the only way she's ever going to see Kyle again is to show up on this show.
Oh my God.
So basically, she's just going to be trying to get with Kyle again. Kyle's probably going to move on to maybe like Melissa. Melissa will turn straight this year or something like that.
That straight turn.
Cara Maria's back. She's basically like the female Johnny Bananas to me.
Yeah.
She's tons of success. She wins all the time, it seems like. And she never goes away.
She loves to throw fits when things don't go her way.
Yeah.
She does that way more. Like, oh my God, she does.
She's very good at complaining a lot.
Yeah.
And even though she complains a lot, like I wouldn't say that her complaints are necessarily wrong or that she's wrong. But just the fact that, like, yeah, just because you were wrong doesn't mean you need to point it out and complain about it every single time. But, like, every episode, it always seems like she's whining, complaining about something. Where it's like, yeah, get over it, all right? Just trying to be happy or upbeat or show another emotion other than annoyance and complaining. Because that's like the Cara Maria I feel like we've had for, like, the last 4 years.
Yeah. Entitled royalty, like, how dare you, like, go against me and shit. Yeah, it's terrible. But in terms of eliminations, I think she's like the best female eliminator of all time. I think she surpassed Laurel.
Well, Laurel has a higher winning percentage. Only 1 loss.
Yeah. And then in the finals, she has now 2 wins, which is great. I mean, that doesn't happen a lot.
In last year on Vendettas, that was her first ever solo win. And that season was a solo. It was her versus Zach. It wasn't just girls versus girls. It was, girls versus guys. Yeah. And she won. Because last time on Bloodlines when she won, it was a partner. And she was partnered with her cuz, Jamie.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we all kind of agreed that she would not have won that season if Jamie wasn't there.
Yeah, because he was a monster and the eating and the whatnot. And he was more calm. She was freaking out.
Yeah, anytime she would emotionally get agitated, he was there to soothe her and calm her. And it was it was a great team. They melded together, and like apart from each other, I think Jamie probably wouldn't have been that good without Cara Maria, and I don't think she would have been good without him. It was just a great team.
Yeah. She's just too high strung for my taste.
Yeah.
I feel like I know those people who are always just like anxious and like, you know what I mean? Or like too defensive all the time where you're like, just fucking relax, chick. Come on. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But hey, she's got her fans, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I guarantee you 90% of the people listening to this are huge fans of Cara Maria, and they've never heard anyone critique her at all. But the only reason we do is because we've watched her for 10 seasons on the show, and it's like basically when you get a new roommate, you're like best friends with your roommate for like 2 or 3 months. And then you're like, God damn it, I'm getting sick of you, and now I've picked out all these reasons why. That's my relationship with Cara Maria.
Okay.
Like I've started to complain about her the way she complains about other people.
To a confessional camera that
Yeah.
it's not even recording. You're like, oh my god, Cara Maria.
So when I'm driving in my car, I just look in my rearview mirror and stare at myself.
I guess in a way I do that as well, but it's a podcast. I'm just like bitching about Cara. I'm like, oh my god. And then she totally didn't do the dishes and shit like that.
Basically, this microphone is your therapist. Vent your complaints here.
Oh my god, this mic is gonna hang itself on its own cord one of these days. In that case,
I wouldn't blame it.
All right, next we have CT. I think he's like, you know, a more charismatic star than Bananas. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like if one person had to be the face of the show, I mean, right now it's basically Bananas, but it should be CT. You know what I mean?
Probably.
Put CT on Conan O'Brien.
Yeah, but he's
You know what
got
I
a
mean?
double chin and he doesn't shave his beard. He looks all scruffy.
Neither does Zach Galifianakis, but he's able to go on Conan O'Brien and be charismatic, win you over, and be like, you know what, I'm going to watch that Hangover Part 3. You watch it, and you're like, oh, what the fuck?
Oh, this is just funny. It's the same reason why Bray Wyatt is on the undercard and Roman Reigns is in the main event. You got to have the look. You got to draw money.
Yeah.
And Bananas, he's got that hair. I don't know what he does with that hair, but something he's doing with that hair, it works for the ladies. They like that hair.
Oh,
CT,
God.
he's too much of a regular dude. And that's weird because he's not a regular dude at all. Because he's super eccentric. But he looks like a regular dude until you get to know his personality. Then you're like, wow, you're like an extra special, awesome person.
The push, they really should push CT more into more mainstream appearances and stuff. They do it with Bananas because he technically won more, but it's like he's a douchebag. You know what I mean? Like, why do you want to support that? You know, but
Bananas is more of a puppet, more manipulative. You know, they can control him. CT, he's out of control. You can't contain him. He's an animal.
And you know, we talk about you talk about like how CT, like I didn't even really agree. You notice that? I didn't say like, yeah, I totally agree. But when you're saying like CT looks normal and average right now, I'm like, yeah, but that's just recently. Before he was like this living Adonis, you know what I mean? Like, but he looked like Wolverine, like he was like scary in shape and shit. Yeah, but it's just I don't know what happened when he came back. I think it was Invasion. That's when he kind of put on the weight, right?
Yeah, it might have been one before that. What was that season where he first had the beard? Was that Rivals 2 or something?
No, that was Free Agents. But
Free
he wasn't...
Agents.
No, he was in terrific shape on that one.
I don't know. I thought maybe he was hiding like a double chin under that beard. I wasn't sure.
No, I don't think so. But anyways, Jesus Christ. He might be not in the best shape, but he's still top tier.
Yeah, you look at his performances and they have not fallen off at all.
And he's like, two-time winner.
Yeah, he just won on...
Champs versus Stars 1.
Yep, and the other one against Nelson.
Invasion. Champs, yeah. Yeah, so having him back is great. I hope that... I don't know, I'm always kind of rooting for him. I'm always like, I don't mind if CT would win again. That's fucking awesome.
It's always just like awesome. If he wins, great.
Finally, we have Brad. Brad
Wait, how did Brad end up last?
It was random. I swear to God.
I mean, it's so yeah, it almost works. Brad being last. We only get to Brad when we get to Brad.
No, I'm a huge fan of Brad. I feel like he was basically CT for the longest time, where he would go to finals and just not win. You know what I mean? But he totally deserves that title as like one of the best of all time. Plus his elimination record, he is like the Giant Slayer, CT, Landon. You know what I mean? Like crazy shit. Like Brad has taken out Big Easy twice. You know what I mean? Where like the odds were against him. No, like against that, he did that pole wrestle against Big Easy. Remember that shit?
Yeah.
All right, okay, let's not focus on that.
Big Easy
But he also
quit on himself.
okay. Again, focus on the positive. This is about Brad. What else? Brad, he went against Abram, which he lost against. But still, like what I'm saying is that Brad is like one of those iconic characters, and I'm so glad that he came back last season. I felt like he was dealt a shit hand on that elimination against Leroy when the wall fell apart
Toppled
and then
down,
the balls
and then,
fell apart.
Yeah.
It was
His
complete
grip
shit.
inside of the ball broke, so he couldn't actually punch with the ball he had around his hand.
Yeah. And he has one of the best elimination records, so it's like he didn't really lose at all. It was just shitty ass production.
Yeah,
You know?
basically unfortunate events.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brad's phenomenal. I really like Brad. I like to give him shit just because he's such a he's just like a caricature of a person. Because I love Brad like in the past, and I loved it when Brad came back. But it's like he's a completely different person now. He looks different. He's a little more on edge, and like if I was in a room with them, I would be slightly afraid. Like I think in the past I wouldn't have been afraid to be around Brad. But for whatever reason, I'm just slightly scared of the guy. I just think he's a little on edge now. And now he's getting with Brittany. He's got this relationship going. And I'm just like, oh, that's weird. I don't know. Everything he's doing is just different than I'm used to. So I'm like, oh, it's great, it's Brad. And I'm like, but is it Brad? I don't know who this person is.
I don't see it that way at all. I think he came back like how Derek came back. You know what I mean? For Dirty 30, Derek came back and
Derek didn't change at all, I don't feel like.
yeah. I don't think Brad changed at all either. He just replaced Tori with Brittany. He went to elimination and did what had to be done. You know, against who do you go against? The dude with the long hair and shit. I don't remember. Jesus.
I feel like in the past Brad would get a little whiny or complainy. He doesn't get whiny or complainy. He just gets fucking angry now. And you're like, oh shit, just give Brad what he wants. He's mad. And then all of a sudden he's just super intellectual and smart again. And you're like, oh, okay, yeah. I don't know. It's something about Brad. He's so awesome.
They kept on saying, I think Zach and Tony were like, oh, midlife crisis and shit like that. But I'm like, if that's a midlife crisis, if you're on a show on MTV outperforming these young dudes and also hooking up with Britney, like Britney's like one of the hottest ones. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so I don't see what is, I guess that's the point. You know what I mean? If you're going through a midlife crisis, you just do awesome shit.
Oh, you're going to be in the best shape of your life. You're going to be totally jacked. You're going to grow an awesome beard, and then you'll be banging the best chick on the challenge. Because if you combine personality and looks, the person who fits that the best is Brittany on the show. Because she has an awesome personality to go with her looks.
Yeah.
There's some other good personality, or other good lookers, but they don't have the personality that Brittany has. Brittany seems like she'd be like the coolest fucking chick to hang out with.
Yeah. Well, he's back, and that's the last player we have on the list.
What? It hosted by TJ Lavin.
Oh,
yes, let's talk about Tej.
No, I'd rather end the podcast entirely.
Because anytime we have the Miz, hosting Champs versus Stars, suddenly TJ it doesn't seem that good when TJ's there because you're like, the Miz is so damn good.
Yeah.
I'd rather have the Miz. They should just get rid of TJ and replace him with the Miz.
Well, that's it for Final Reckoning. This is the Premature pre-show, possibly part 1, because who knows? Maybe they'll let out some information about like how the elimination will be and all this other shit. Like, subscribe, comment. This was Battle of the Challenges podcast with Vincent Cloud.
Hardcore Dave.